Okay, welcome to the Art and Tech for a Better World YouTube channel. In this moment, we are really focused on our project in artificial intelligence, but we are open to all technology, immersive technologies, and open to us from the beginning to arts. And nowadays, we are open also to the new economy in the pandemic and post-pandemic scene. So, in this very special interview with Anil Brook, we are talking about all these topics. So, I am so honored to have you here. Welcome, Anil.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me, dear Alfredo. It's a pleasure being with you today.
The same I can say for you. We were waiting a lot for this moment, and I am so great expectations to this. Uh, I usually formally present the interview, but interviewers, but in this occasion, our first question that I asked to Anil is a very good opportunity for talk about a very interesting journey that Anil did. So we are going dive to the first question, Anil. I was thinking about, can you talk to the audience, I would explain to the audience what was your journey from the financial world, the IT world, and nowadays the art world in an NFT context environment. You have the word.
Okay, okay. Yeah, let's start from the scratch actually. So I like introducing myself in that way. My father's side come from Balkans, Macedonia, and my mom's side from Greece. So I grew up in Smyrna, in a city near to Asian Sea, a very happy childhood, playing with the grandma and grandpa, an independent little girl. For the university, I moved to Istanbul, so a bigger and a chaotic city to study economics, actually. Afterwards, my banking career has started in an investment bank. And then London. I love London. I made my master's there and mathematical finance and IT applications I have studied. And I was about to stay after my studies. However, September 11th happened. So chaos, financial crisis all over. I'm very grateful to any kind of crisis in my life because I had a chance to create something new. And I found a way to survive in a better way somehow. And then Citibank investment banking, selling derivative instruments to VIP clients. It was definitely not for me. That selling issue and dealing with those derivatives in those days. And afterwards, I found my kind of sole job, business development in tech startups, San Francisco, Silicon Valley, experience in e-commerce, internet advertising, affiliate marketing in Europe's #1 companies, to be the only women in 25 country managers. I mean, having all positive and negative aspects of being a woman in tech business and in the digital world. And I'm perfectly sure that you get me as an HR expert in that sense. So, all between falling in love, following joy and love in life, and marriage, moving to Germany, around Frankfurt, to start a new life again. So actually, I like designing innovative trainings and writing. So my first book, E-commerce to Tsunami Effect on Sales, and the latest one is Breathe with Me. I can say I'm becoming a digital parenting activist every day. So plus a certified breath worker, meditation and mindfulness teacher, I also create content to global wellness tech applications. So actually many entrepreneurship stories in hand. So I'm the co-founder of TurboSlop NFT agency, which we will talk a lot today. We create NFT formats and projects with an interdisciplinary approach. And I'm also the founder of Breathing Games for adults, kids, and teenagers. And I believe when we get closer to the digital world, we forget to breathe. And my book, Breathe with Me, starts with the wisest words of Gina Tan: breathe. You are online. So as a whole, I think my strong abilities are to see the patterns and connect the dots, actually, navigate simplicity and clarity in this complex information, and manage all these through today's paradoxes. So I feel lucky for that.
Yeah, sure. It's to be very lucky and happy, indeed. You have a very special mind with your brain working in both hemispheres from the technical things and the art environment. And I think you were also a great ability to learn. You was learning all the time, and to learn is what I think that is our possibility to be happy and to be always with a new horizon. Um,
Yeah.
and so great. And that's one of my interests in interviewing you about this very special experience, even though in the different cultures as you did. Um, and so it's very clear for me, I suppose, for the audience, all this journey you did. And I would like to talk about some points specials. And the first one is about we would like to know how the NFT experiences, as well about what do you think about trends in new economy. I would like to talk with you in this first point in a more great scale environment, what you are seeing about the economy, the trends of the economy, where we are going to, where is our horizon. So please have the
Uh,
thoughts.
Yeah, very good question. Actually, let me try to explain this with one of our NFT projects in our TurboSlow agency, Breathe With Me. It's the world's first collectibles, can city air NFTs around the globe. That's what we call it. As I said, Breathe With Me is the name of my latest book. So this is the main driver of this unique NFT art project. It just happens because of an actually innovative explosion, I should say, after third lockdown happened in March this year in Europe. And when the borders have closed again, I felt like I could not breathe. And the only way we could breathe to create something together in a fun and meaningful way. So there are cities and locations in this project we have been selecting according to the results of a research done by 1,000 people from 40 countries. So the participants have been asked questions like, when everything is back to normal and you have enough money to spend, so where would you like to go in the world? So which travel destinations actually are most tempting for you? And yeah, by this way, we created a special air formula on those cans, and the percentage of the air have also been chosen according to the research and also to our travel preferences and our personal experiences. So by this way, this project carries the traces of the human story and the data story and also the pandemic story. So there are nearly 18 cities like Amsterdam, Antwerp, Berlin, Brussels, Dubai, Frankfurt, London, Los Angeles, Miami, New York, Paris, Tokyo. And we are very proud that some Bali and Barcelona have already been sold on the NFT market. And there are some unique colors and specific sound designs for every city. So examples like Times Square, Trevi Fountain, Moulin Rouge, Big Ben, Central Park, Kashira Park in Japan, something like that. So when we come back to your question, so those digital collectibles actually take blockchain technology to completely new areas outside of standard financial applications. So as an ex-investor banker, I can genuinely say that by representing those physical assets in the digital world, NFTs have the potential actually to be an important component, not only of the blockchain ecosystem, but also the whole economy. So it's very exciting that we are creating new, innovative, and unique products using this promising technology. So we have received amazing posts and messages from all over the world. It makes us feel like we are on the right track. And I believe that there's interdisciplinary thinking and creating and enrich our work a lot. And one quick note, 10% of those proceeds from the project will be donated to save the Amazon rainforest, which is home to 3 million trees and animals, as you know. So, and Amazon rainforests are also known as the lungs of the world. So the world is going, and the economy is also going in a very different forms. And I think it is getting much more global in that sense, that we can reach many people, and the art and also the digital economy is kind of combining each other.
Okay, so we can say that we are walking in that direction now.
Yeah.
Good. This is about the economic digital world that you are explaining us. But you have, with your experience, it's a problem for me to ask about all things, but I will try to. And in the second question, I would love to talk about art. So you are working hard in the art field nowadays, and you are with a great innovation in this. So I want to explain us which are the difference between a physical art experience and a digital one.
Yeah.
Audience as well, for the artist.
Yeah, I think it's getting more interactive because art is in everything, isn't it?
Love it.
So imagine that it is even in the air that we breathe, as in our project. So the breath is like fingerprints, unique and personal. So with NFT or with the digital art also, everything we have been discussing in the art culture for years has become a new formation, new meaning, new dimension. So the concepts that we have been thinking for years actually shaped with those NFTs and digital arts and blockchain's unique, specialized and democratic concept of art. I think this is very important for not just for the audience, also for the creators and artists. So it's very exciting that we are creating new, innovative and unique products using this blockchain technology. And I think for both the audience and the artists, it is definitely creating a liberating space to present, create an experience. So, so to me, there is no physical art anymore. It's art is art. So it's digital form. So the form is changing. So the meaning is not going to be lost at all, actually.
I love what you say about arts. It's everywhere, in every place. That's a very good idea. I love it. And in addition to this question, I would like to ask you about what do you think if it is different in the physical world from the new experiences of digital world, the collaborative art.
Yeah.
Change or not change the situation of a physical or
Actually, it is changing, of course. I mean, there are still galleries and people are also doing the physical art, but the formation and the creation of the art culture is changing, I think. I mean, is there going to be really Picassos in 21st century? Yes, there will be, but those Picassos will be also presenting their work also on the digital forms and using some digital formats too. I mean, to make everything, I mean, to change the forms of art. And this is coming to the question of what is art and what is not art. So to me, it is art is in everything. I mean, whatever you want to see in it. If we make it that simple, we can go through much easily in our minds, also in our hearts. That's what I believe. So.
Okay, pretty clear for me. Thank you. Okay. You, I heard from you to use a very uh, strong concept, very shocking concept that I love, but I want to understand more about what you mean when you say immersive technologies and you add with unlimited realities.
Yeah.
So great.
Yeah. My dear friend Pedro from Frankfurt is he's a very important guy from our especially internet ecosystem in Frankfurt. And he is saying that immersive technologies with unlimited realities, they made actually a very good conference during the pandemic. So we are just using his words also in our website and in our sayings. Well, immersive technologies create distinct experiences by merging the physical world with a digital or simulated reality. Augmented reality and virtual reality are two principal types of immersive technologies like 3D displays, 3D audios, gesture recognition, spatial sensing, speech recognition, the haptic drones, omnidirectional treadmills. Support will lead an amazing experience in different industries like entertainment business, art, fashion, wellness, health, and also in the marketing world through different brands. And the relationship between NFT and the brands is in a developing period right now. Frankly, as a digital advertising agency, we think that the brands will show more interest to NFT in a short period of time. And with the presentation of various virtual products to the mass, especially on the virtual fashion, design, and architecture, everyday products will now be seen as a commodity in the digital. And the brands will sell these virtual products to the mass markets as NFT. So consider the early period of the cinema industry. The audiences were able to consume a branch of art, had fun, they cried, learned by believing in the reality on the screen and accepting that environment at all. So this period is actually similar to the first period of movie industry for NFT and immersive tech to me. So consumption of those abstract concepts with a certain acceptance. Instead of thoughts, the human mind is shaped by digital reflections of those virtual commodities. And I believe that the development of technology in the last 20 years and the rise of those digital projects and enterprises have proven this to us over and over again. Just as blockchain technology has brought financial democratization, NFT is now an important building block, actually, that enables the liberation of art production. I think it brings innovative approaches to art production and meeting people from different disciplines from all over the world. And in addition, our children born into these digital worlds, which we call the digital natives, will be included in those fields faster than adults. And digital art production will evolve and develop within the scope of these newcomers. And by the way, you can find some interesting 360 virtual reality techno plus NFT projects in our TurboSlow portfolio. Check it out our Instagram page. You can have a look, TurboSlow Agency. And that's what we call immersive tech, actually, with unlimited realities. Isn't it pretty inspiring?
Well, very interesting. You talk about children, kids. You know, we are working in our interviews with Teodora Pavkovic about AI with kids, and this was just the same. I would love to, if you can explain more about the possibilities of children and young people to introduce to NFT.
Yeah, actually, they are already in NFT world. You can just, it's like to be in social media. You can just create an account and you can be in the system. There are NFT marketplaces, and especially the teenagers and the little ones, even the children. I mean, children are the great artists. We say that, right? Like as Picasso said. So especially when we are kids, we are more artists, and when we get older, we lose that ability in our lives. And to put that kind of actually those pictures, products, or some digital materials that they can the kids and teenagers create. So those are their products and their materials and their assets and their art. So they can represent it in those marketplaces. And if somebody just thinks that it's valuable, an investor can just come and pay its value. And so in this way, even from the start of their lives as a child, they can be in this art culture and art industry and art environment. So it is very interesting. And there are kids, actually. There are teenagers. There are also in New York, in pandemic time, they have made for the teenagers and kids, they made an NFT conference, actually, and NFT festival for just kids and teenagers. And I have seen amazing pieces. So it's developing, and it's quite inspiring also for the kids.
Yes, I suppose it's a promising field, a promising direction with teenagers and kids, and so it's interesting for this. We are thinking that we have to work for a better world for young people, a world with more opportunities, a world with can have a wide scope of things to do and possibilities to do. And I think this is very interesting what you said. I learned too much about this. So it's now for trying to understand more about your organization. I would love you to tell us about your organization and the opportunities that bring for artists.
Yeah, sure. I think I should describe first how we differentiate actually ourselves from other NFT projects and artists and what we do. In Turboslov NFT agency, we always try to connect some meaningful stories from real world and combine them with the digital. So this way of producing and creating NFT projects makes more sense for us. And we believe that it does really touch to other people too, because this is our kind of methodology, let's say. But we love digital as well as the real world. And Turboslov is a creative platform for crypto artists, NFT collectors, art lovers, DJs, producers, and brands. And our main focus industries are entertainment business, science, arts, culture, well-being, blockchain, and immersive technologies. So as an NFT agency that we run together actually with my brother, Atil, he's in Brussels, and I'm in Frankfurt. So we are open to scout new talented artists, and we work with artists from our network as well. We give them opportunity to find their path much more easily in an NFT market by providing supervision, management, and curation. So we are always excited to see how people can be creative and make a big difference in every technological form. So we believe art is a powerful tool. So we create our own projects as well as in Breathe With Me. So for our artists portfolio, you can visit turboslovnft.com and get in touch with us. And there are international writers, rewarded photographers, painters, motion designers, sound engineers, DJs, producers, etc. So as an agency, we are developing new projects with some other NFT agencies in Paris, Vienna, London, New York, and Tokyo. So in Dubai, and we are planning to organize NFT fairs in this year in Vienna and next year in Brussels, where we are located.
Okay, all around the world. Very good. Um, well, Neil, this is very important what you say to us, and a very open mind proposal that you are giving to us. A lot of things to understand, a lot of things to make synergy and to create with you are presenting a great motivation for all new things. I am so thankful to you about this. I want to, we are now, right now, finishing, but first, I would love you to say your message for today, the audience.
Yeah,
What do you want to say?
yeah. Actually, let me explain a little bit more about me, because apart from that art and tech, I'm working on a children's book and an adult book for well-being, and I'm very excited for that. And for new technologies and business models such as NFT, it may take some time for market maturity. I have seen this, we have seen this in e-commerce. Amazon is a giant thing right now, but at the beginning, it was not like that. We know that. So, and there are a lot of new things to discover. So I'm attending a German-based international unit master's program where I learn a lot in blockchain and NFT experts from all over the world. So one small advice for the ones who is listening to us right now, the universe supports action. Just do it. So I think my last message is this: just do it. So thank you for this opportunity, Alfredo. Very appreciated.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. I am so honored to talk about these things that our present and our immediate future. Thank you very much for being here. Only I have to add that in this interview, I really experienced my original idea about art and tech is very accurate with this interview, with your proposal, and always for a better word. But this is really an art and tech proposal, and I am so happy that these things, these kind of things, are becoming to the reality and are open for everybody. So, Anil, so thankful to you about your personal story, about your professional great journey, about what you are saying about the future. I love that you are talking us out of the present, right now, and the future also. So, yes, what was you are saying? So I am so happy to having you here, and I hope to go on talking about the things, exploring new opportunities for everybody. So thank you very much, and the best for you and for your organization, and especially for your thinking, your innovation proposals.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and to the next one.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.